Alright everyone, welcome to this video. In this video, we're going to cover basically all the ways you can get more reviews for your service business. So whether you're a local service business, online service business, depending on the type of places you want those reviews, we're going to talk about that too. But basically every single way you can, and little tricks and optimizations and little ways to get more reviews, better reviews, and so on and so forth. So first thing I want to mention is that this is what we're going to cover today, but why are reviews important? Why would you want to even improve the amount of reviews you have? So basically, the idea is that if you get leads to notice your business, so in all these various ways, so from search engine results, review sites, social media maps, whatever else may be, they're gonna inform themselves. So when they inform themselves, they're gonna check you out, and when they check you out, they want to see, are you trustworthy? If I spend money with you, are you gonna give me what I want? And if you are, you gonna give me in a way that I want it, in a sense that are you gonna fulfill your promises? Are you that type of person? Now, why would you want to get rid of those reviews? Is because you can influence the perception of people that people have on your business. Because the more reviews you have, the better you're perceived. Because obviously, if a business has had 1,000 reviews, that means there's 1,000 people like that person, that new client, that's prospect, that have already dealt with your business and had a positive experience with it. So you want to have those reviews with you on your side so that when the new client comes in, they feel assured that, okay, this business, not just what they say, because what a business says doesn't mean much. It's what a business can show with the actions that I've actually taken. Words don't mean much. It's really about the action. So reviews are reflections of the actions. Reviews are reflections of the amount of things you've done in the past and how well you've done them. So reason why you want to improve your reviews. Now we're going to talk about in this video the quantity of reviews, so getting more reviews, the quality of reviews, getting better quality reviews, and the review distribution, so getting them on all the platforms. And also I'm going to take as a side note, I'm going to talk about how to implement them in your website and why you should do that as well. So now that we got that out of the way, how do you actually get more reviews? Well, the first thing to get more reviews, you want to basically ask every single client you have. So one thing that we've noticed for most service businesses is that they have a client list, even if it's 10 years back. You see all those clients you've ever dealt with, whether it's a small service or a big service, because by the way, a Google My Business or whatever the type of review platform don't discriminate on the type of service you've done. So if you've done a service that was a $5 service, you did maybe a freebie, you gave them something for free, whatever it may be, it's a service. You've serviced them. That's $5, $5,000, $500,000, it doesn't matter. So you could ask for those reviews. Now, how would you want to go about asking for it? Well, there's ways you could automate it. So you could create maybe an automation that whenever you have a new client, or all your old clients in this case, you have an automation that just sends out an email that's templated to every single one, so that you have your list of 200 clients. You send them all an email. You say, hey, would you like to leave us a review, please? It would help us, whatever. We've done this for businesses in the past. It's pretty easy to set up. You could use a tool like Instantly and just do a blast of emails. Might cost you $100 to set up the whole thing. Maybe you're going to want to spread them out, because if you send all the emails in one day, they might land in spam. So maybe take a good email in your business, one that has a high reputation in Gmail or whatever it may be, and you send them out, 30 a day, 20 a day, just to make sure that they don't get any bugs. You test out different copies, see which ones, depending on how many clients you have, you could test them out. But in any case, you want to just send them all an email. What you could do in those emails is you ask for the review, which by the way, you could also do it by text. The best way to do it would be by text, or even by call, or even in person would be even better. But in most realistic scenarios, you're going to want to send an email. In that email, what you could also do is implement you want to put the link to your Google My Business profile. So you don't want to just leave it blank, not just, hey, can you leave us a review? Because that's too many. You want to basically reduce the friction that they have to leaving you the review. Because what do they have to do? They receive the email, they have to go on your business profile, they have to log in maybe to Google, go on the business profile, leave the review. Now, if you could try to truncate that process or make it as easy as possible, or as simple as possible, or as least friction as possible, then that increases the likelihood they're actually going to give you the reviews, so that from those 200 old clients, you have 50 of them leaving a review instead of 20. So what you would want to do, the best scenario I would say, is you leave a link, and you also have a PDF for those people who don't know how to leave those reviews, because it might be the case, maybe you're dealing with older clients or people who are not too familiar with how to leave reviews, if they've never done it or whatever. So you might have even a PDF, which I don't have an example here, but what you could do is you have maybe a PDF in Canva, and what you could do is that in the PDF you have a QR code. So if ever they're looking on their laptop, they could scan it with their phone. So that links to your Google My Business profile. So you have the QR code. Then what you could also have another link there, but you have a tutorial. So in that PDF, it's a tutorial of how to leave a review. So step 1, do this. Step 2, do this. Step 3, do this. So maybe it's step 1, click on the link. Step 2, fill out the stars. Step 3, press send. Something simple like that. How much of an improvement does that make? Maybe 5% more people are going to review a review because it's going to be more convenient for them. People are confused or whatever it may be. In any case, you test out what makes sense most for your business. If you have 1,000 old customers that you've never asked for a review for, then maybe that's where it's better to implement these optimizations a little bit further. So that's pretty much it for asking old clients. Now you could always ask them multiple times. You could ask them by text, by DM, by mail. You could call them. You could do whatever you want. Now that's where you have to balance with your own business, what type of relationship you have those clients. How much you're going to bother them compared to because the more you email them, the higher the likelihood that they're going to leave you a bad review, because maybe you're going to say these people are annoying. But if you see that you did good service and you're happy to have served them, you can really mention in the email, hey, it would really be worth it for us. We're trying to rank better on Google. You can be upfront. We'd like you to leave us a review, an honest review, whatever it might be. And the other thing too, I'm going to mention for the reviews is the quality. And I'm going to mention that after. But in any case, when you ask them, you want to ask them also to leave your reviews with images and videos, which is why the tutorial might be useful. Is that if you want people to engage with you in that sense, which is going to help the quality of the reviews you get and potentially increase your conversion rate on your Google My Business or other platforms, you want them to leave videos, reviews, you want them to leave a big message, you want to even have keywords within that message. So you want to maybe indicate that to the person that would be the most valuable way they can leave you a review. Obviously, you want to keep it authentic, you want to keep them, saying an actual review that they actually mean. But you could always influence them in the sense to say, hey, look, we'd appreciate it if you do X, Y, Z, and so on. Then you got new clients. So I would say when you're asking for new clients, you want to ask them, this is something from Alex or Mosey that I learned. You want to ask them when they are the most satisfied with your product. So you want to sell them when they're at the least satisfied. I don't remember the words actually he was using, but let's say if you're selling a steak to someone, they come to your restaurant, and they come in and they say, I'm very hungry. I want to eat everything. That's when you sell them the steak. You don't sell them the steak when they've eaten the steak. You don't sell them another steak. So the idea is you want to sell them when they're most satiated, when they're most hungry for it. But you want to ask them for a review when they're most satiated, wasn't the right word before. When they are more satiated, then you want to ask them for the review. So when they just finished the steak and they're happy with the steak and they've just experienced the whole experience, that's when you want to ask them for the review. So when you're asking for new clients, if you're, let's say, a hair salon, you want to ask them right after you've shown them the hair. Maybe you show them in the mirror, you show them in the front mirror, whatever. Maybe you want to ask them for the review there. You don't want to ask them when they're home. The likelihood that first of all they're going to leave your review is going to go lower, because the less personal it is, the less connected you are to the person face to face, the less likely they're going to leave your review, and the less likely they're going to give you a positive one. Because for whatever reason, maybe this is the other thing too. If you're doing in real life, this is a trick where I believe you shouldn't do, because it's manipulation in a sense. But the person is going to be less likely to give you a bad review because they're going to be in front of you, because maybe you're going to see their phone or whatever it may be. So you might want to avoid those type of situations. But in any case, if you leave them be to go home, maybe there's an issue with it, and instead of addressing the concern with you directly, they're going to give you the bad review because you just asked them for a review. Now, if you ask for reviews, you could also include a section like, hey, contact us if ever you had any issues, so we can resolve it before you leave a review. And we're going to talk about that a little bit later. But in any case, so for asking new clients, you could do that. You could have it automated, would say, in real life, or if you have an email that's right after they've been served, so right after they had the best experience with you, you send them an automated email, an automated text, whatever, saying, hey, it would mean a lot to us for you to leave us a review. Please do X, Y, Z. So you can ask them by email, you can ask by a text. I would say text would be number one if you have that type of relationship with clients. Well, basically, ask them in real life is here, ask them by phone is here, ask them by text is here, ask them by email is here, and maybe DM and email, they're probably neck and neck. So that's it there. Miscellaneous strategies. So you can implement lower ticket services to get more reviews. So the way you could do this is, like I was saying before, if you have a service that's $5, $500, $500,000, one review is one review. But the thing is that a $5 service, maybe you could do, give a bigger example. So let's say you're a landscaping company and you're doing these large services, which is, a $10,000 project. Those $10,000 projects, they might take 2 weeks to do. you could only get one review. Now imagine you were doing your lawn mowing, or you were doing, let's say you're window washing, you're just doing that as an extra. You're doing as an extra to the neighbors. So you're doing your landscaping for that main business, and then on the neighbors on the side, you're doing the window cleaning or whatever type of bundle offer you might have. You can have a lower ticket service just to get through those reviews. So maybe it's not that profitable. Even if it is profitable, you could have a profitable business with that. In any case, you're doing this with the purpose of getting reviews. They're reviewing your business. And it's a fair review because it is your service. Now, the thing is that if your competition is only getting reviews for the services that were their $30,000 service, at the end of the year, they did 30 jobs. They got maybe 25 reviews, and that's it. You did a bunch of little jobs. You did maybe emergency jobs. You did, these little tiny jobs, but you asked for the reviews. So the real value in those little jobs is not the money you're getting, which can be good, but it's the actual review itself. So now compared to your competitors, maybe you did less jobs than him, less big jobs. So maybe you only did 20 big jobs and you only got 15 reviews, but you did 30 little jobs and out of those you got 25. So now you have 40 reviews compared to your competitor who has 30. Even if he's a bigger company, you appear to be bigger and you appear to be more reputable in your market just because of this little strategy. So something to consider there. Then you got some review asking tools. So I have an example here. You have these review tap cards. You can purchase these on Amazon. You can check the link out. I have a link on their website if you are to go on our website and download our trainings. So the link that's basically in the description of our YouTube channel, which are for free, by the way. The 12 trainings going over basically every single aspect of your service business online and how to optimize it, and the reviews. You can download our trainings, but under here, if you go to this section here, you have your review tap cards. This is an affiliate link, so if ever you guys use this, we make a little bit of money. Then in case it doesn't matter much, you could go on Amazon, check these review cards. There's a bunch of websites that sell these as well, a bunch of Shopify stores that sell these. And what you could do is just get a review tap card that instead of you having to give them a link, to send them links by email, if they're in real life, you don't have to say, hey, go to the business and you have to be over their phone or whatever. They just take their phone, they tap on the review card, or they even scan the QR code. That's going to link them directly to the Google My Business profile. So that simplifies the process a lot. So like I was saying before, you want the least amount of friction. So that reduces basically as much friction as you can reduce. That allows the person to leave you the review in the best fashion, the best way possible. The beauty of this is if you're a contractor, you have a bunch of your guys on the job sites, you have 5 teams running and you have all these guys everywhere, it's going to be tough to manage maybe reviews, when to ask them because we just finished the job, whatever. So what you could do is you could give all your guys on your job sites, you could give them all review tap cards, those little cards. And then when they finish the job, they go up to the owner and they say, hey, are you satisfied with whatever? Maybe they have a little survey. If they say that they're satisfied on the survey, then you present them with the review tap card, say, would you mind giving us a review? You could always do it in this way where it's your employee or you yourself are asking if they had a good experience. If they present themselves as having a good experience, if they don't have any negative things to say, then you present them with the review tap card. If they want to leave you a Google review, they could leave you a Google review anyways. But now at least if they're positive, you're going to be able to capture that, or at least higher the likelihood that you're actually going to capture that review. So you can do that. You can have one that has a stand. There's a bunch of different ways, one on your keychain, whatever. So anyways, there's a bunch of different ways of it. So then it just makes it easier for you to transact these reviews, basically as if you're changing, you're exchanging currency. So that's pretty much it for that. So for getting reviews, the amount of reviews, that's how you want to go about it. Those are basically the main ways. I would say 99% of the ways. I can't even think of another one. When it comes to review quality, obviously a review is going to be a true representation of the person's experience with your business. So you don't want to mess with that. Now, what you can do is just request or ask that person to have more detail of the reviews. And why would you want that? Well, for any platform, more details means more space. So these big reviews take up more space. They show themselves as more legitimate, because somebody just saying good work or thanks a lot doesn't show that you had an extra action with the business or whatever. Having images and videos, so on Google My Business you could share images, I believe videos as well, so if you're leaving a review. And also the keywords within those reviews actually have an impact on SEO. So your local SEO actually is impacted by that. So if you have a client that maybe is a client that you could have these discussions with, you could say, hey, look, leave me a review like you want, like be honest, be transparent, whatever. I don't want to mess with that, but give as much information about your experience as possible if you can. Keywords, you can ask them for keywords, but then it gets a little bit too manipulative. But in any case, you say, give me as much information as you can about your experience. That's going to cover most of the keywords. and then put some images and videos of your experience. If you want, you can even share them images. Say, hey, look, this is what we did for your job, like your roof or whatever. You took pictures of the guys, took pictures upstairs. They sent it to him. You say, hey, look, if you wouldn't mind, just make it heavy. That helps with SEO, helps with conversion rate, because people are going to be able to read bigger reviews. They're going to be able to see images, able to see videos, and so on and so forth. And I believe that they rank higher. So when they're more filled, they rank higher in the hierarchy of reviews within Google My Business. So something to consider there. So the other thing that you can do to get a better quality, so to get better ratings, which is, I wouldn't say it's a manipulative technique, but it's always, the line is always gray on these type of things. It's a review as template. So a review as template, a bad review filter. The review as template is, like I was saying, you ask them for all this information. You can have it templatized like a messaging, but you have a bad review filter. So what you can do is that if you're sending out these emails and you're sending, hey, go on this link to leave me a review. If you're not sure about this certain person's experience, what you can do is lead them instead. That link leads them to a form. That form, they're going to give information about their experience. In that form, this is your own personal form that's not connected to anything else. They're going to leave a review. If they leave it at 4 stars or more, then you redirect them to the page of the Google My Business. And if they leave you 4 stars or less, or whatever, 3.5 stars or less, then you have a form, or you have a phone number, you have your email, whatever, for them to contact you to try to resolve the issue. So instead of you giving them a link so that they're going to give you a bad review, you give them a link so they give you a bad review, but internally, so that nobody else sees it, and you could address the issue before it gets public. So you could address the issue with the person, maybe fix the problem that they're having with the service that you guys offered, and then you're able to potentially get that review, so switch that review before it gets live. Because that's the thing with bad reviews, after that to try to get the person, even if you did the good service for them and you fixed all the issues, the likelihood that they're going to change back to reviews is low, especially if they're not tech savvy. So that's something to play around with. Again, stays in the gray line. You have to be careful where you play on this fence, but in any case, something to be potentially to be worth it for your business. Now, review distribution. This is something people don't consider much. But for your reviews, you have your Google My Business, which for a local service business is going to be the most important one. If you're an online service business, it's going to depend on your industry. So there's certain review sites for different industries. I forget the names of the specific ones for specific industries, but I believe if you're an agency, I think it's something like Clutch or something like that. In any case, there's reviews for them, and people search those up the most. That's where people are doing their searches. So if you're maybe a local service business that's in a very touristy area, a TripAdvisor is going to be a more important review site for you. But what you can do is you could ask that client that left your review on Google My Business, if you know them well and you're ready to have that discussion with them, to leave your review on basically every other site. Instead of them just leaving a review on Google My Business, they could leave you one on Yelp, on Trustpilot, on the Better Business Bureau, on TripAdvisor. They could leave you the same one, copy and paste the same one on every single one. It doesn't matter. It's not against any guidelines, at least that I know of, that you would do this, because they're giving their same opinions, the same opinion. You're not manipulating the opinion in any way. They're just sharing it on multiple platforms. So you're just posting that opinion on multiple platforms. What does that do? Well, if your competition is only getting, let's say like we were saying with a roofing company, those 30 reviews a year, and they're all getting them on Google My Business. Well, now you got those same 30 reviews, let's say, on Google My Business, but now you've got 20 of them to leave your review also on Yelp, and you got 10 of them to also leave your review on Trustpilot. So now what happens is that if I'm a consumer and I go online and I see competition business A and I see business B, I see business A Google reviews 30, I see business B Trustpilot, Yelp, and Google Business reviews total 60. Even if I rate two of them, I just see that it's spread out. So it just gives a better impression to the person. And this is the thing too, maybe that person is going to search all three, but in most cases they're going to only search one. But maybe there's one person, the client that's searching for you, they don't look at Google My Business reviews, they don't trust them. For whatever reason, they don't use them. But they do trust Trustpilot. So they're going to see you on Trustpilot. They're going to see you on Trustpilot with 10 and your competition with 0. They're going to see you on Yelp with 10 and competition with 0. So who do they want to choose? They're going to choose the one that has the better reviews on that platform. So what you're doing is basically you're spreading out the potential of appearing as a higher review source than your competition on every single platform, just to make sure. So in most cases, I believe it's going to follow like an exponential decrease. So 80% of people are going to see your Google My Business reviews, 10% of people your Yelp, 5% of people your Trustpilot, 2.5% your BBB, and so on and so forth. So, maybe your top three, you want to have reviews on there. Then after that, it just becomes kind of useless or less valuable to optimize. If you're a bigger business that maybe, you're dealing with 1,000 reviews a year, or your competition has 20,000 reviews, you're a big business, then maybe you want to have those profiles on every single platform optimized and showing those reviews. So something to consider there for your online reputation. That's pretty much it. So if you were to do all these things and get as many of those reviews as possible, get them as high as quality possible by presenting them in a way and asking them to be honestly represented, but heavily represented. So more videos, more images, more text, and then getting them distributed on every platform. Then you could probably beat 99% of your local competition. I would say all of them, because most businesses, I haven't seen a business that does that, in the sense that it's worth it for them, but they have never even thought of setting this up on all the platforms or being this diligent on it. In any case, so many ways you could play around with this. And the value of this is that if your online reputation is better, well, then your conversion rate is better. So I could give you maybe an example here. If I go to our projections calculator, and I go down here, let me just copy this link. All right, so you see, if I were to go here and your business, this is a fake business here. So let's go with current statistics as a pretend business. You have 2,000 visitors a month and your conversion rate is 3%. So across all platforms, Google My Business, whatever, your average conversion rate comes down to 3%. Now imagine your online reputation was better because you improved the amount of reviews. You increase the amount of reviews. So now you get 10% boost in conversion rate. So now just because of this improvement, you're making, in this scenario, in this built up business, you're making 10% more revenue. So you're making $882 more. Now you increase the amount of revenues, but you also increase the quality because you've responded to people, you've done these little optimizations. So now you've increased your conversion rate by even more, 10%. Now you're making $1,700 more. So you see how every single aspect of your service business online, and especially your online reputation, has a direct effect on your revenue. So if your online reputation, it's promoted in a way that, like we're saying, the most amount of reviews, the best amount of reviews, and distributed everywhere, well, now you're increasing the likelihood that you're actually going to get sales, you're increasing your conversion rate, and then down the line, you're increasing your revenue and your profit. So that's pretty much the idea there. Now, one thing I want to mention before I finish this video is that all these things are good on their own platforms. So it's good to have, like I was saying, the review distribution on all these platforms, Google My Business and the other main platforms you may have for your type of business. But what you also want to do is include them on your website. And the reason you want to do that is the same principle as the reviews. Reviews help you convert more. Now, on your website, the hierarchy goes this way. No reviews is at the bottom. Text reviews is here. Image reviews, so image with a little bit of text, is here. Video reviews is here. And then video reviews from influencers is up top. So, and then influencers could be at all these sections, as a secondary section. But in any case, this is how the hierarchy goes. So what you want to do ideally, in most cases you're not going to have influencer reviews, but ideally what you want is video reviews. So maybe you want to ask, your best customers, the people that like you the most or that you like the most, say, hey, look, wouldn't you mind giving me a 10-second, 30-second, whatever, selfie style, hey, I love your product, I'm so happy I dealt with your business, I'm so glad you guys helped me, blah, 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 type of video. You take all those videos, you take 10 of them. Obviously, if you could have 100 of those videos, the better, because the more reviews you have. And what you could do is on your website, you structure it in a way where you had your reviews, instead of having those old text reviews that people won't even read, you have these video reviews. And even if people don't read them, just the presence of them being there increases the likelihood that they trust you, because a video review is a lot more convincing, and it's also a lot more trustworthiness, because a lot of text reviews are fake, or a lot of text reviews you can't really trust text reviews. There's not a lot of context around it for you to trust it. So if you have those video reviews, well, now you're much more trustworthy. It makes a lot more sense for the consumer, because when they're going through it, just visually, just a lot more stunning. So emotionally, it gives them that sense. And then now you're increasing your conversion rate because of it. So all these things taken into consideration, you want as many videos as you want. And I would even say at the end of your website, so maybe your home page or your contact us page or whatever page, you might even embed another section full of reviews. Maybe you put your text reviews there and you put them as a scroll. So basically, if people want to see all your reviews, they could check them all out. What you would also want to do is connect, and this I talk about it more in our website design and website structure videos. This one is more about how to get the most reviews. But what you would want to do is on your website, you want to show your Google My Business reviews if you're a local service business, and even your Facebook reviews in your header. So in the main section of your website, you want to show Google reviews, Facebook reviews, and you show the number, and you maybe have a software or a plugin if you're on WordPress or whatever that updates it automatically and updates the rating, so that constantly you're showing people, okay, I have 200 reviews on this platform, 300 reviews on that one, and then plus look at all these video reviews. So you just basically, you completely overcome the objection that the client will have of saying, oh, I don't trust this business, they haven't dealt with enough people in the past. So you completely erase that objection. So you've dealt with that one perfectly. And that's how you could do it. The most perfect way that I see now as an opportunity is influencer reviews. In most cases, it's going to be just video reviews, and then embedding your Google My Business profile reviews and your Facebook reviews within the header. So basically the first sections, you want to show all that out. And that's going to help your conversion rate a ton. Probably one of the best boosts in conversion rates that are the easiest to set up if you already have those reviews. So that's pretty much it for this video. If you guys enjoyed, please let me know in the comments. If you have any questions, any concerns, anything that you want to change, anything you think it doesn't make sense, please let me know in the comments. I always want to add to this. So if ever you guys even have more ideas of how to get reviews, please let me know in the comments. I'll add to this, and I'll make maybe other videos in the future if there's a lot more information to be added. All these things, they kind of connect together. So if there's little parts, even on the other sections that you might think would be valuable to add, please let me know. Would love to keep growing this in the future. And if you want to download our 12 trainings, so basically, we're talking about these things, but in the review training here, the reputation management review training, you could actually have more in-depth tips on how to set this up, and you also have a checklist. So the checklist here, it's longer than this. There's a bunch of pages, but in any case, you can download it, have access to the checklist, and then you'll be able to do all these things, and check them off within your business. It just makes it easier for you to set up. So that's for free in the description. We also have the other ones about Google My Business, social sites, and so on. And then also, if you want to access this bundle, so this whole Miro board with all the projections calculator and some more stuff like a checklist that's a little bit more in depth. In any case, if you want that, it's a paid product. It's linked below in the description. All the information is there. But if you want the free one, you have access to the 12 trainings. And if you want to contact us, Vizions Digital, we're the agency. You have the link as well in the description. So if you're looking to optimize your website and also basically do everything that we talk about in these videos, we do for service businesses. But our entry-level offer or base offer, I would say, is website optimizations. Because when you optimize a website, everything's connected to it. So in the end, if you optimize this part, well, everything has an effect on it. And if you increase conversion rates, from day one, you increase conversion rates by 10%, well, you're making 10% more revenue for your business from your website. So that's just basically the math for it. So that's pretty much it for this video. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye-bye.